Welcome back to the deep dive. We're here to take your research, your questions, all that material you've gathered, and really get to the heart of it.
Yeah, cut through the noise.
Exactly. And today, we are strapping in for a big one. It's the 2026 Rivian R1S, the updated version.
Right, the second generation. This is a vehicle that, well, it really made a name for itself, didn't it, as a proper adventure SUV.
Mm-hmm.
7 seats, plenty of luxury, but also, and this is key, serious performance and real off-road chops.
And that's really our mission today, to unpack that kind of paradox, because you've got this huge electric SUV, weighs what, over 3 tons?
Easy, over 7,000 pounds.
Right, and yet the top model hits 100 kilometers an hour in under 3 seconds. It's almost unbelievable.
It really is hypercar territory, dressed up for family duty.
So we need to dig into how Rivian pulled that off, and maybe just as important, what are the trade-offs? What did they have to sacrifice, if anything?
Well, what's interesting is they're not just chasing speed numbers. They seem to be trying to fundamentally redefine what a big luxury electric SUV can actually do when the pavement ends.
So it's about capability across the board.
Exactly. They want you thinking about this not just for the school run, but for, genuine serious adventures. So we should probably start with the power, the big upgrades there, and crucially, the range figures you'd need for those trips.
Okay, let's dive into that power then. The headline for 2026 has got to be that new quad motor option.
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking, is it really 1,025 horsepower?
1,025 horsepower, yeah. It's a frankly staggering number for a family SUV.
It just sounds absurd. And the torque is up there too.
Way up there, 1,198 pound-feet. And what that translates to, in practical terms, is that 0 to 100 kilometers at a time. You're clocking at around 2.6 seconds now.
2.6, that's faster than almost anything on the road.
It's that instant EV torque, just neck-snapping acceleration.
But here's the question, I guess. Is there a point where it's just too much? Like, for a 3-row vehicle you use every day, does over 1,000 horsepower actually make it better? Or is it just, bragging rights?
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
And while, yes, 1,025 horsepower sounds like complete overkill, the real magic is how it's used. Because it's a quad motor setup, right?
Wait, 4 motors, 1 for each wheel.
Exactly. So that massive power enables incredibly sophisticated torque vectoring. The computer can instantly adjust power to any single wheel.
Ah, okay. So it's not just about going fast in a straight line.
Not at all. It means better traction, better control, whether you're accelerating hard on pavement or, and this is the key part for Rivian, when you're crawling over rocks or mud.
Got it. So the power actually feeds directly into the off-road capability, which is obviously a huge part of the R1S identity.
And that capability is backed up by the hardware, too. You've got that adaptive air suspension.
Which lets it adjust the ride height quite a bit, doesn't it?
Dramatically,
yeah.
You can lower down for highway cruising, better aerodynamics, but then when you need it, you hit the off-road mode and it lifts way up.
How high can it go?
To a maximum of 14.9 inches. That's 378 millimeters.
Wow. That's more ground clearance than most pickup trucks.
It really is.
Yeah.
It puts it in very serious off-roader territory.
And then there's the software tricks, like that kick turn mode I read about.
Yeah, that's a really clever bit of EV engineering. Because you have independent motors, the kick turn mode can basically spin the wheels on one side forward and the other side backwards slightly.
To pivot the vehicle.
Essentially, yeah. It lets this big, heavy SUV turn much, much tighter than it otherwise could. Think tight trails, tricky parking spots maybe. It's using the EV powertrain to solve an old problem.
Clever. And despite all this focus on speed and off-road tech, it's still a workhorse underneath, right? The towing capacity.
Still very strong. Max towing is rated at 7,700 pounds.
Which is plenty for a decent-sized trailer or a boat.
Absolutely. It holds on to that practicality.
And just to note, it's still built entirely in the U.S.
Yep, manufactured in Normal, Illinois. But, speaking of those long trips where you might be towing, that brings us to range and charging.
Yeah, the big questions for any EV, especially one this size and this powerful, range anxiety is real. How does the 2026 R1S tackle that? Because moving 7,000 pounds takes serious energy.
They tackled it head-on with the pretty massive battery option, the Max Pack.
Okay.
That gives you the headline range figure, 410 miles, which is about, 660 kilometers?
410 miles from the Max Pack. That's very impressive for a vehicle this size.
It really is. It puts it right at the top of the class for large electric SUVs. The battery itself is substantial, 149 kilowatt hours.
Right. Now, here's something I saw that seems huge, GE. The charging port. They've switched to NACS for 2026.
Yes. That is a massive deal, especially for North America.
So it uses the Tesla plug now. Standard.
Standard equipment, yeah.
Oh.
NACS, the North American Charging Standard. This basically unlocks the Tesla supercharger network for Rivian owners.
Which is, I mean, widely seen as the most reliable and extensive network out there.
By far. So for anyone planning long road trips, that access removes a huge chunk of the logistical headache and range anxiety. That's a game changer.
Definitely. Okay, so access is much better. What about charging speed? How quickly can you juice up that big battery?
It's pretty good. On a compatible DC fast charger, they say you can add about 140 miles or around 225 kilometers of range in roughly 20 minutes.
20 minutes for 140 miles. Okay, that's usable. Not the absolute fastest out there maybe, but solid for a rest stop.
Exactly. Makes those cross-country journeys feel much more feasible.
So let's place it in the market for a second. Who are its main competitors? Obviously, the Tesla Model X comes to mind. Similar size, similar performance focus in some ways.
Yep, Model X is the obvious one, especially on performance and tech. But then you've got upcoming rivals like the Lucid Gravity.
Ah, yeah, Lucid's promising even more range, right?
Potentially. They're targeting up to 450 miles, so if absolute maximum range is your #1 priority, that's one to watch.
And then on the other end, maybe more value-focused.
I've got things like the Kia EV9, also a 3-row electric SUV, getting great reviews, but likely at a significantly lower price point. Strong family contender.
Right, so the R1S is definitely positioned as a premium product. Let's talk cost. What's the range we're looking at for you, the buyer?
It's definitely up there. The entry point, the dual motor standard pack, starts around $78,885 MSRP.
Okay, starting near 80K.
And it climbs steeply from there. If you want that top-tier 1,025 horsepower quad motor with all the bells and whistles, you're looking north of $123,885. Probably quite a bit more with options.
Wow. Okay, so definitely a premium price for that unique blend of luxury, performance, and off-road capability.
You're paying for that do-everything promise.
Let's step inside then. What's the cabin like? Does it live up to that price tag?
I think it does, yeah. It strikes a nice balance between feeling upscale and feeling durable, which fits the adventure theme. They use a lot of sustainable materials, nice synthetic leathers.
Feels premium, but like you wouldn't be terrified to get it a bit muddy.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It's practical, too. You get heated and ventilated front seats as standard, which is always welcome.
And crucially, it is a proper 7-seater, right? 3 rows.
Oh, yeah. Comfortable for 7. That third row is actually usable, even for adults on shorter journeys, which isn't always the case in this segment. Makes it a real family hauler.
Okay, practicality check. Cargo space.
Really good. Fold down those back rows, and you get up to 91 cubic feet of space, which is massive.
And then there's the frunk, the front trunk. Rivian made a big deal about that initially.
Still a major feature. It's huge, about 10 cubic feet. And it's weatherproof, power operated, perfect for stashing charging cables, muddy boots, recovery gear, whatever. Keeps the mess separate from the main cabin.
Nice. Okay, now, the dashboard, the controls, it's very screen focused, isn't it?
Dominantly so.
Yeah.
You've got that big 15.6-inch central touchscreen, and almost everything runs through it: climate, navigation, drive modes, settings. Pretty much a lot.
Which looks clean, very modern. But
Yeah.
this leads us to maybe the biggest point of contention for Rivian.
The software integration, or lack thereof, some would say.
Right. The Rivian operating system itself is supposed to be pretty good, quick, and responsive.
Generally, yes.
Yeah.
The feedback is that it works well, but the company is very insistent on using only their system.
Meaning, no Apple CarPlay, no Android Auto. Still?
Still, no Apple CarPlay, no Android Auto integration at all. They are absolutely sticking to their guns on this.
Wow. In 2026, for a vehicle costing over $100,000, that feels like a massive omission for a lot of buyers.
It's a huge hurdle for people coming from, well, almost any other brand. You're used to plugging in your phone and having your familiar maps, your music apps, your podcasts just work.
And Rivian is saying, nope, you use our system, learn our maps, use our integrated streaming partners.
Exactly. It's not just a missing feature. It feels like a deliberate choice to keep you within their ecosystem, which, some people might be fine with, but...
But for an adventure vehicle, doesn't that feel counterintuitive? Like, if I'm heading off-grid, I want my phone's mapping app that I've downloaded offline maps onto. I trust that. Relying solely on the built-in system feels risky.
That's the core tension, isn't it? They're building this incredibly capable, rugged machine designed to go anywhere, and then fitting it with a somewhat restrictive digital interface that works best when it has a solid data connection. It's an interesting conflict.
Definitely something potential buyers need to think hard about. Okay, let's shift to safety and the realities of owning one of these. Safety first. Big, heavy, fast vehicle. How does it stack up?
Extremely well, actually.
Yeah.
Despite being a newer company, Rivian clearly prioritized this. The R1S earned the highest possible rating from the IIHS, the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety.
That's the top Safety Pick Plus award.
That's the one. Top Safety Pick Plus award. And its crash prevention systems, both for hitting other cars and for pedestrians, got the top superior ratings. That's excellent engineering.
And it comes with the usual suite of driver aids: adaptive cruise, emergency braking, lane keeping.
Yep, all standard under their Driver Plus system. Plus, they're planning more advanced features through software updates.
OTA updates. Right, what are they promising there?
Things like hands-free, highway driving assist, potentially even eyes-off capabilities in certain approved situations down the line. So the car's tech is designed to evolve after you buy it.
Okay, impressive on the safety front. Now for the reality check. The potential downsides, the aha moments for someone considering ownership. What are the key weaknesses we need to highlight?
Well, the first one is kind of unavoidable given the size and battery. The weight penalty.
Over 7,000 pounds.
Exactly. That massive curb weight impacts efficiency, obviously, even with that big battery. But the real kicker for owners is tire wear.
Ah, right. More weight means tires wear out faster.
Significantly faster. You're going through tires much quicker than you would on almost any other comparable family SUV. And the tires themselves aren't cheap. It's a real, tangible operating cost you need to factor in.
That's a really important point. Okay, what else?
Second, the ride quality. While that air suspension is brilliant off-road, some reviews mentioned it can feel a bit bouncy or unsettled on certain types of pavement or in specific drive modes. It's not always perfectly smooth for daily driving, despite the sophisticated setup.
So maybe not quite as refined on-road as some luxury rivals.
Potentially, yeah. It's a trade-off for that extreme off-road articulation. Third, we already touched on it, but the screen dependence. The lack of physical buttons for basic things like climate or wipers can be genuinely distracting while driving.
Yeah, having to tap through menus for common functions isn't ideal.
Definitely takes getting used to. And finally, something really crucial for buyers outside North America.
The service and support network.
Exactly. If you're looking at buying an R1S in, say, the Middle East or other regions where Rivian doesn't have an official presence, that's a big risk.
Because you're relying on unofficial importers.
Right. Which often means much higher maintenance costs, potential issues with getting parts, and almost certainly problems with warranty coverage. Owning such a complex, software-heavy vehicle without official manufacturer support is, well, it's a gamble.
A significant gamble. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try and wrap this up then.
Sure.
The 2026 Rivian R1S, it really does feel like the ultimate paradox, doesn't it? It's this incredibly engineered machine that somehow blends 7-seat family hauling, real luxury, supercar-level acceleration, and hardcore off-road ability.
The specs are just phenomenal. 1,025 horsepower, nearly 15 inches of ground clearance, 400-plus miles of range. It's an amazing technical achievement.
But as we discussed, there are clear trade-offs: that huge weight penalty and what it means for tires and efficiency, the controversial decision to lock out CarPlay and Android Auto,
And that critical gap in global service and support outside their main markets. It's designed as the ultimate adventure vehicle, ready to tackle remote terrain.
which brings us to our final thought for you, the listener. Here you have a vehicle built for the ultimate adventure, reliant on sophisticated software updates, OTA fixes, and a specific charging standard, the NACS network. How truly sustainable is that adventure promise in parts of the world where Rivian offers zero official support? Where there are no dealerships, no official service centers, maybe limited compatible charging?
Yeah, is the cutting-edge technology, the very thing that makes it so capable, actually outpacing the brand's ability to support it globally? Can the adventure happen if the logistics aren't there?
Something to think about. Is the tech getting ahead of the global reality?
Fascinating question. Well, that's our deep dive on the 2026 Rivian R1S. Thanks for joining us.
Keep exploring, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.